More now on these debt negotiations and what we do know. We welcome one of the most prominent Republican freshmen, Congresswoman Diane Black of Tennessee. She serves on the House Budget Committee as well as the powerful House Ways and Means Committee. Congresswoman, great to have you with us here.
It's great to be with you, Lou. Thank you so much for having me on.
You just heard your speaker say he doesn't know what's going to happen if they can't reach a deal. You've also just heard him say that it doesn't sound very likely that a deal will be reached. What are your thoughts?
Well, I am so disappointed that this president continues to have a lack of leadership. You know, when I talked to you last, I think we had just sent the letter to the president asking for his plan, because he has never put a plan on the table. Our plan has been out there since April on how we can turn this ship around and get it headed in the right direction, and yet we have not had a written plan by the president. Neither has he answered our letter. You know, at the most, I would expect some courtesy to say that he received the letter. We had a meeting with Geithner, who could not give us a plan on what they would do if we did not come to some kind of resolution on this debt ceiling, and we have yet to have a plan. And we've got the president out there now with the fear-mongering of telling our seniors that they're not going to receive their checks. This is shameful. And if they don't receive their checks, you know who the blame is to lay? It is the president, who is supposed to be the leader without being a leader.
Let's straighten out that particular aspect right now, because Social Security is a separate and independent funded service of the federal government, and is totally unrelated to the discussions that are taking place between the White House and House leadership. So why, and by the way, the money will be in Social Security for payments to recipients for some time to come, certainly throughout at least this year. Why would the president make such a statement and set the record straight, if you will, for us, Congresswoman Black?
Well, that, again, is the president's decision, because, as you have already said, Social Security is able to be paid. I mean, we have a fund with the money in there. Social Security won't go broke until 2037 by all of the reports. So this decision not to pay Social Security is squarely on the back of the president. And I'm angry that he is making our seniors fearful that that money is not there to pay them. That is his decision to make. And there are ways to get around this without scaring our seniors and not paying our seniors their Social Security. So shame on him. And I'm disappointed that this president has not come to the table sooner, and that he's been out doing all other kinds of things. He's admitted that he didn't give us a plan because he didn't want to be criticized. Well, our plan is out there. We've been criticized. Put your plan on the table. Let's be big boys and girls and be willing to be criticized so that we can come to some consensus.
You were in the meeting this morning in which Speaker Boehner acknowledged he's mad as hell, in his words, about the way in which these negotiations are going, and this president is responding. What do you think it'll take to get a deal done, if indeed you believe a deal can be done?
Well, I think that people really do need to come to the table and talk about the seriousness of what goes on here in Washington.
I mean, are you talking about raising taxes? Would that be amenable?
No.
So
no, that
you
is
think
not.
taxes
It's
are off the table? Completely.
Washington has a spending problem.
I know that.
It spends too much. It doesn't
I think
tax
we all know
too
that,
little.
Congresswoman,
Yes.
but we also have a leadership problem, and frankly, neither party is distinguishing itself in leadership right now. This August 2nd deadline that the Republicans have permitted to be equated with automatic default is really on the Republicans, because now it's created a problem for you back in your districts, right?
Well, it's created a problem when you have a president that won't come to the table and talk seriously about something besides taxes. I mean, there are other options and alternatives out there, and we've laid them out, and we're willing to lay out more. We laid it out there so it could be discussed. And the disappointing thing is the only thing we've heard from the president is he wants to increase taxes. And increasing taxes in the time that is already tough for our businesses is a job killer. And we're not willing to go there.
Isn't it a job killer if you permit this president, this administration, to create that August 2nd artificial date? It is absolutely an absurdity that it has persisted, have been allowed to persist as a real date certain for automatic default, if you will, as this administration has styled it, and as your leadership has permitted it to be understood by the American public. it would also be a job killer if it unsettles the markets, correct?
Well, there's no doubt about that. And that's the reason why we have to get very serious about coming to the table and talking about alternatives that are very viable alternatives.
Right.
The cuts
Name
are
one.
viable.
Name one.
Well, okay, I
And
can
we've got
name
to
a
run.
couple. Okay, I can name a couple. First of all, that we want cuts that are equal to whatever you're going to raise the debt limit.
All
So
right,
if it's
Speaker Boehner
$2
said
trillion,
that.
okay. The second thing is structural change, where we can actually handcuff Congress where it doesn't continue to deficit spend and put more money onto our debt. We know that that's got to be done. We cannot keep building up this debt. There is an alternative of a balanced budget amendment that's out there that would be one of
Congresswoman,
those.
I'm sorry, but
Entitlement.
I understand.
Okay, I understand.
I appreciate it. We're just way over on time, but I appreciate your offering your thoughts, and it's always good to talk with you. Congresswoman
Same
Diane
here.
Black.